Okay, so that's the modelling of the bell mounting tool I've got. You can see here it's in the retracted position, and here it's in the extended or open position where it's actually going to complete the bell mounting. So I have a bit of 1-inch shed 40 pipe that I'm going to attach onto this spigot here, and that will be the length of what the depth of the cord hole is, and that's what I'll be doing, the rotationary motion and also the expanding motion of the blades. And with this I want to get around about a 470mm diameter undercut, which will give me a good, very good bearing surface to come onto. So I've done a number of detail sheets. That's the DXF files that I did. That's just a drawing of the DXF files that I gave to the laser cutter, and just the details of the components. So if I get a website up and going fairly soon, I'll throw them up there so that you can have access to them if you ever want to make something like this, provided it's going to work. Hopefully it will. As with everything when it's one-offs, there's always those little sections that you've got to nip and tuck to make things work. So hopefully we'll get 95% of it right, and we'll go. Alright guys, we're back again. Apologise for that. Batteries out of, the camera's out of batteries again. I've made a modification to this. It's only a small modification. Rather than having a spigot on this drive here, I've decided I'll bore into that and fit the pipe down into that hole instead. The shear area almost doubles, and it's going to be a lot more resistant to torsion with the stress now on the outer fibres of that member, rather than being on the round as it was before. So I've updated the details, as you can see there. Well, I'll tell you what folks, this job is like one step forward and 2 steps back. I've taken out a layer of the soil, or the recycled concrete I used when I initially packed this shed down. I was hoping I was going to be off the existing foundation, but I've stuffed up somewhere. I've come smack down on the existing old shed foundation that's underneath there. So what I've tried to do, jackhammering, didn't get me anywhere. Although I'll sink some core drills down and just see how deep it is. And it finally breaks through at about there. So that slab underneath there, or that footing, this is where, just on the edge where the brickwork is just over 400 thick. Inside there where I cut out to open up that space to get access to remove those piles that I poured, it was about 8 inches thick, or 200mm thick, so it's over double along here. And I'm not going to get that out. So what I'm going to do, just where I've jackhammered it out and cored it and done all sorts of things, I'm going to pour in some high density grout and let that go off. Put a steel plate down on top of it with my jacking arms underneath, and I'm going to screw directly off that old existing foundation. There's not much more I can do. It is what it is. I don't like being beaten, and I tried everything I possibly could, but at that depth, through that size hole, there's no way in the world I'm going to get that out to give me a good clearance to get an auger down, as well as my bell mounting tool out. So that's where it sits now. So as I said, I'll repair these up, put some high density grout in, some plates in, and we'll jack off this side here. Remembering I've still got points that I can lift off each corner where I've poured separate little slabs. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points just along the back edge here that I'll lift off, and I'll come onto these ones. I've got another 5 across here, so it's certainly going to take the load off this being able to support back here as well. So I'll just have to live with that. I'm not happy about it, but there's nothing I can do. Alright, well I'll get all that set up in the next week or so. Get that pulled off, and I can get these arms up, and so I will manufacture up some arms with some screw studs down onto a plate and we'll see how we go.
So you can see, I thought I'd just show you some photos down inside here. This is where I sunk some core holes down, 3 down, and as I said, they went over 400mm deep. You can see where I spent hours and hours and hours jackhammering to try and get that out. And I started to sink a core drill down there, but after 300mm, it's not going to change. I haven't done much with that one, but I'm not even going to start, so sort of broken away a bit in the side. It's sort of like it's right on the very edge for some reason, but I'll dig that in a bit further when I pour the grout in, and then I'll give it a good plate. But remember, I've got a jacking point just on the corner there as well. You can see I've just started digging this one out. So yeah, we'll see how we go. They go down probably about 150, 200mm. And once again, over in the corner there, just behind the little CNC there, I've got another jacking point outside. So it's going to be well supported. I think it's not going to move. And once I get these cores up, they're about 1200 apart. So it's still going to be well supported. Anyway, not happy, but we tried. Alright, I've got the plate sitting down inside there that we've machined with that little taper inside it to stop this thing from walking around and also spread the load out. What I'm going to do is we'll put this arm into place, and we'll see how that looks. I'm going to go to the line here, but if you get a bit of an idea how it's all looking. So that's inside there quite nicely. So what I'm going to do now, let's put that into there and we'll screw that all the way in, and then we'll get things into place. I'll have to put the camera down and we'll bring it back when we've got that in. Alright, so you can have a look down inside there. You can see that we've got that sitting pretty centrally. We've got the strong back into place. I'm not going to load any of this up until we get the other 4 in, plus the 2 outside ones under the slabs I've poured. Then we're just going to gently lift that. Before I do that, I'm going to set my dumpy level up and take some levels outside so that we can track our movement and inch it up as we go. So that's how it's going to look. That's sort of like the system, how it's going to work. Fingers crossed it comes off on that side here. So this corner here, we've raised that up 8mm. Sort of see, let's see there, you can sort of see how it's lifted away from the dirt. And you can see all the cracking of the dirt as it's being lifted. Raise this end here up the 8mm as well. So I'm going to let that sit for a little while, a couple of weeks. I had to put a fair bit of pressure on this one here, and you can sort of see how the slabs, it's cracked away from some of the dirt there, so that's going to have a reaction. I have a feeling that this one may be slightly intertwined with this foundation on the shed may be slightly intertwined with the foundation of the old shed. That's why it's taking an awful lot more pressure to get him up. But it's going a little bit freer and easier now. So like I said, we'll let that sit and we'll see what the reaction is after a couple of weeks. In the meantime, I can start coring other areas of the shed. Start getting that work done. I did lift this one up and I did manage to raise it up about 2mm underneath the Bridgeport mill, so that went reasonably easy, so fairly happy with that too. Alright, I'm happy with that so far. It's going to plan. Alright guys, I thought I might bring you back and show you where we're at. We've had a little bit of progress down the track. My workshop is starting to look more like a quarry now than a workshop. I've got 7 done already. And I'm about to start the 8th, which is just here, so I've taken the concrete plug out. So I thought I might just do a video dedicated to the process of going through. I'll show you what this one's all about shortly. I did this one yesterday. I don't know if you can see down there, but yeah, it's a long way down. Long way down. But the process is working nicely. The bell mouth tool that I'm using is doing a great job. I've got all my other little jigs and bits and pieces that I use over here. But what we might do first is I'll take this plug out, show you what the purpose of this plug is. You can see water sitting on top of that. So I'll pull this plug out and then we'll have a bit of a talk about what that's all about. So that's our plug out. So you might have seen me making that up before. We sit that down inside the hole, and then once it's bedded in there we pour water in. That's not that deep now. We pour water in and that just softens the clay up right around the outside so that I can get my bell mouth tool in and it takes it away nice and cleanly. So I might just do a bit of a shot with the bell mouth tool now. I'll show you how that works. I normally leave this in for 24 hours, but I put it in yesterday afternoon. I've only just pulled it out, so we'll clean that up and we'll get set up for the belling. Right, one of the joys about using a home camera, I don't know when it's filming and when it's not, so hopefully you'll get it this time. I've just sunk that down and taken out a lot of clay at the bell mouth, so I'll pop that back down again and do another run. I've made up these little guide chocks, which keeps it centred, but also gives me something to purchase off when it starts getting a little bit tight to rotate. So, give another go. As I mentioned, on camera, I've got to be careful how much clay I put inside the bucket here because the blades don't collect fully and they do get stuck going through this concrete core bit. So I might just leave it at that. I'll get this out and show you how it works. Now, you see that's caught up quite a lot of clay. And I'll finish them off. I'll go back and I'll show you the last one. I'll get our tool back down. Put me down, I found. Put me down nice and hard like that. As the blades flick out and get ready for the next bite. So as you can see, we get quite a bit of clay out here. That's what you want to see. And yep, those blades are bitten in.
see, it does work very well. It really builds that bottom out. You sort of see the clay's getting a bit dry there. But doing an awful lot of clay out of the base of it. So I'm really happy how this tool has worked out. I brought you back a bit sooner, but I thought I'd just show you how this clay actually packs up into the bucket to withdraw it out of the hole. You can see it's packed in there quite tightly. There's an awful lot in there. So that's the third one. That's the third one. So probably another 3 of these to go, and we'll have that built out totally. Let's drop it out. Go and clean it out, and drop it down for another go. So, alright, I'll be back shortly. Alright guys, we'll start a hole. Daniel, do you want to just lock the door please mate, so it doesn't creak? Now this stuff here is what I use to pack underneath the slab before I poured it. It's recycled concrete. It's basically gone back to concrete. It was packed down so hard I've got to get in with a crowbar. But what I also have to do, and this is the hardest bit, is that I need to undercut underneath both sides to get my strong back underneath. And these holes, to do that, take me about an hour to an hour and a half to do. Just chipping away at this recycled concrete that's just gone pack hard. So just have to chip away at it. And this is about 120, 130 mil thick, so around about 5 inches in the old money.
How far do you have to get down to?
I'm getting about 1.8 metres total then, all the way down, but starting the holes out is really, really hard, mate. So I'll get this started, and we promised Danny that we're going to go fishing this afternoon, so we won't do too much on this one today. This bit's not too bad for me, it's the undercutting bit that is really hard to get that clearance, to get that strong back under.
Is this one of your new holes?
Yeah, we're starting this one here, Dan. We'll just finish that one over there, mate.
You've done some pretty big holes.
Yeah, I know.
Deep.
Well, we have to, mate. I'll make sure that our workshop is never going to move again, mate.
I wonder when the point of no return would be, so when you can't fix it up. It's just gone completely. It can't be fixed.
Well, I haven't hit that yet.
Nope.
I've got the back end already stabilised, so it's not going down any further.
But it could. Right?
No, I hope not. We'll get these poured off in the next couple of weeks.
What are you putting in those holes?
Okay.
How many of those are you going to need?
27 together, mate.
What?
27 still real.
27 holes.
Lots and lots of holes down.
Must be hard work doing all this.
I'm very sore at the end of the day, mate.
So do you only do this on weekends, or?
No, after work each night, do a bit.
So you after work you're tired. Well, at work you're tired, and then you come home, and then you do that, and then you're extra tired.
Something like that, Danny, yes.
That's how it works. Well, I'll get the auger set up and I'll do a bit of augering, mate. Right guys, so we're augering down this hole at the moment. So I've gone through about 300 millimeters of topsoil, and we're into this hard sticky clay. So it cuts okay. It's just a bit hard to get out of the auger, but we zoom up down the hole. You can see it going up into the bucket there. It doesn't take long to go down. Pull it out. So you can see the clay that's going in here, and as I said, it's really pretty stiff. Something to dig that out with. It's sticky and it's stiff and it's really hard. And this goes for about a metre down, this really stiff, sticky clay. And then we hit that really hard, sandy clay, which is very dry, after about 1.5 metres. So we'll continue this for a little bit further. I'll get that level of the concrete, and I'll start doing the undercutting for the strongbacks. So another couple of balls, we'll be close with.